welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into something really important for anyone involved in higher education: developing soft skills through work-based learning. Our goal here is to figure out which skills really get a boost and what strategies actually work. We're basing this on a solid systematic literature review.
Exactly. And this is super practical for you, the learner, because understanding this stuff helps bridge that skills gap. It's
Yeah.
all about getting you better prepared for your career.
Spot on. So before we get to the really juicy bits, the findings, how did the researchers actually tackle this? What was the method?
They used a really rigorous process, a systematic literature review following the Prisma P protocol, which is, well, it's quite thorough. They ended up analyzing 29 papers, all published between 2013 and 2023, from key databases like Web of Science and Scopus. And critically, they focused only on higher education settings, so the findings are very relevant.
Okay, reliable and transparent. That's good to hear. So with that solid approach, what were the main soft skills that popped up? Which ones are developed in these work-based learning programs?
Right, the results were pretty clear on this. Well, yeah, a lot of different skills were mentioned. Two really stood out: communication and teamwork. Communication was actually the most frequent. It came up in 18 of the 29 articles.
18. Wow.
Yeah. And teamwork was second, mentioned in 13. So those are definitely the big ones to focus on in these kinds of programs.
Okay, communication and teamwork. Makes sense. ICT skills got to mention too, you said?
They did, but honestly, they were much less acknowledged compared to communication and teamwork.
Interesting. So knowing which skills are key is one thing, but the big question is how? How are these vital skills actually developed? What strategies came out of the review?
Yeah, that's the core of it, isn't it? The papers didn't always spell out the strategies in super fine detail, but two major approaches kept coming up again and again. These were reflection and building personal connections, or networking.
Okay, reflection and connections. Let's unpack reflection first. What did the review actually say about how students can effectively use reflection?
Reflection is definitely powerful when done right. The review highlighted a few specific methods. For instance, some studies mention students using monthly reflective logs during their internships. These help them capture, work incidents and then think about action plans.
Like a diary, but more structured?
Kind of, yeah, focused on learning from experience. Then there was Socratic questioning, basically asking yourself why repeatedly to get to the root of things. It encourages critical thinking, though it does admittedly need enough time and maybe some guidance from lecturers.
Right, it's not always easy to do on your own.
No, exactly. Another really practical tool mentioned was the STAR reflection template.
STAR, what's that?
It stands for Situation, Task, Actions, and Result. It's a framework to help structure your thoughts about an experience. And the research showed it was especially useful when students got feedback on their STAR reflections, helping them link their work experience back to their unit courses.
So the feedback loop is important there too.
Crucial. The key takeaway on reflection was that it works best when it's supported. Think mentoring, structured feedback sessions, or even just talking things through with supervisors or peers. It's that active engagement, the feedback, and the self-reflection that really helps you build a professional identity and figure out what good practice looks like.
That makes sense. It's about actively processing the experience.
Precisely. And just a quick reminder for you listening, we actually have companion videos that dive deeper into reflection and feedback techniques, so do check those out.
Good point. Okay, so that covers reflection. What of the other big strategy? Personal connections and networking. How does that play a role?
It plays a huge role. The research directly links your interactions with supervisors and coworkers to your skill development. So things like communication, but also problem solving and self-management get a significant boost when there's strong employer engagement.
Meaning the company or organization is actively involved in the learning.
Yes, exactly. It's about having those opportunities to interact, collaborate, ask questions, build real working relationships. It also highlights how important it is for universities and industry partners to have really strong communication channels between them. It supports the whole process.
So pulling all this together, what does this mean for you, the student, the learner? What are the practical things you should be thinking about?
Okay, the main thing for you is to recognize that skills like communication and teamwork are really central to getting the most out of work-based learning. They're not just nice to haves,
Yeah.
and you can actively work on them by using structured reflection, maybe keeping a log, trying the STAR method, or just consciously asking why, and by intentionally building those connections. Talking to your supervisor, collaborating with colleagues, seeking feedback, you can seriously enhance your experience. These actions are key not just for skills, but for shaping your professional identity and really boosting your readiness for your future career.
So it's about being proactive in your learning during these placements.
Definitely.
Great. So this deep dive really highlighted those core soft skills, communication, teamwork, and the power of reflection and personal connections in developing them within work-based learning.
It did. And while the review strongly points to how important reflection and feedback are, it also noted something interesting. There's actually limited explicit research proving just how effective different methods are, which leads to a final thought, really a question for you, the learner. How can you be proactive? How can you seek out or even create those vital opportunities for reflection and feedback in your own work experiences, especially if they aren't formally built into the program? Something to really think about as you navigate your own learning journey.